wait a second. Have I got this right? Are you saying that the rebels may have been better not blowing up the Death Star in the first place?
This is correct. So the size of these Death Stars is so immense that the costs that would incur to the financial systems would be greater than letting the Death Stars survive.
And so, like, the broader implications for the economy at large, including, of course, the Rebel Alliance, would have been disaster for everyone.
It would have been complete disaster. We would have seen the economy just stop existing. This would be worse than the Great Depression. It would have been beyond anything that we've ever seen on Earth. And we really see this going into Episode 7, where on Jakku, they're just scavengers harvesting from fallen spaceships.
That's right. I guess you can sort of see the economic implications of it. And I wonder, beyond being a fan and being interested in this, how do you come by this kind of data? How does one figure out how big the economy is and what it would cost to build the Death Star in the first place?
So it really is a lot of coming to historical analogies. So I started off to come up with the cost of Death Star. There was a petition to the White House a few years ago to petition them to build a Death Star. And they said, you know, we can't do it. It would cost $800 quadrillion. That's beyond what we want to spend. That would increase the deficit. We want to decrease it. And I went back through these numbers, and that was just the cost for the steel, the raw materials for building a Death Star. So I took those numbers further and found actually instead of 800 quadrillion, it would be 193 quintillion.
That's a lot of money in any universe.
In any universe, and that's just for the first Death Star. They built 2 of these, the second of which was larger than the first.
And I guess when you try to figure out, you use that to then extrapolate how big the economy was. Yep. How did you do that, first of all?
Yeah, so I took the size of the first Death Star, this $193 quintillion, and compared that to the Manhattan Project. So what we see in Rogue One, which I'm excited to see today, is that this is a massive military research and development project. And so I looked at that, compared it to the Manhattan Project, which was 0.21% of GDP per year in the U.S. From 1942 to 1946. So for the 20 years of development for the first Death Star, this would be 0.21% of GGP, gross galactic product, per year. And assuming a 2% economic growth rate, this comes out to $6.09 sextillion in gross galactic product at the time of the Battle of Endor.
And you also look at sort of, the intergalactic banking system, the fact that in the Star Wars galaxy, there is no central bank or lender of last resort. What is the source material for that kind of stuff?
So from the movies, the Clone Wars TV show, we know that there's the intergalactic banking clan. So this is a massive, huge bank that acts as close to a central bank as they have in the Star Wars galaxy. And in the Clone Wars TV show, one of the favorite things that I found in my research was that this was deregulated during the Clone Wars. So this is a B-plot in one of the Clone Wars cartoon series episodes where they deregulate the banks. So we know there's this massive bank. We know that there's many other banks besides just this one. And in the end, if these were to fail, there's no governmental backstop.
The economics of Star Wars is something that is a weird subgenre of economics in general. And one of the things that always jumped out at me is that the empire basically began and rose to power because of a failed trade deal, if I've got it right. The movie's about war and about authoritarianism. What real-world stuff can we learn from what's actually happened and is happening in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, so we can see certain elements with the prequel trilogies where the Trade Federation was against the Republic. So you had these kind of guilds. You had these economic interests that were against what the popular will desired. So this caused conflict. So that shows up, as well as the fact that for millennia before the prequels, before Episode 4 or before Episode 1, there was economic stagnation. There was no economic growth for 25 millennia. So this is going to foment unrest. It's going to create a situation where war is certainly possible, and authoritarianism is certainly possible. We see that on Earth, and we can extrapolate that to the humanoid species in Star Wars.
And you applied your sort of real-world field of study into this particular project.
Yeah, so my real research is on systemic risk. And what I found in the Star Wars galaxy is following the events of Episode 6, so following the Battle of Endor, without a bailout on the order of 15 to 20% of the galactic economy, the banking sector would simply vanish existing. So overnight, in my simulations, I would expect about a 12.9% drop in the gross galactic product, and that number could get anywhere up to about a 30% drop, which is greater than the 26.7% that the U.S. felt during the Great Depression. And
as you say, you see some of that sort of evidence of economic fallout in the most recent movie. Did you ever get any feedback, or did you get any notion that the creators of Star Wars had seen your paper?
So I have no evidence of this, but I was told through my aunt who knew someone that J.J. Abrams had read my paper.
Nice. That's pretty cool. And lastly, before I let you go, the title of your paper, an academic paper, it's a trap Emperor Palpatine's poison pill. When you first pitched this, what did the university think of this project?
They loved the idea. Taking my real research and doing this public outreach on something I love and something so many people love just really took off at the university.
All right, listen, we have to leave it there, but what a fantastic story. We sure appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the movie tonight.
Thank you.